Hey everybody and welcome to a new video. This one might be a little controversial to some, but I'm not someone who really cares. Today I want to address something regarding modern One Piece in the animation world, specifically how it utilized an animation technique in very unique ways, resulting in revolutionizing this technique and bringing more attention to it from casual viewers who did not even know its name prior to them. However, this doesn't mean this animation technique was invented by One Piece animators or that it's something new in the animation world. So I hope you can distinguish that from the point of the video. We'll talk about all of that here, so without wasting time, let's get into it. The topic here is of course impact frames. Let's start with what is an impact frame. Most of the time it's a technique used to invert colors for a few frames during an impact or to remove colors, leaving black and white frames. This creates a much stronger and heavier feeling when the hit connects, considering the contrast. But it's more complicated than that. Sometimes they are used for stylistic purposes, even in non-action scenes. This technique continues to evolve thanks to ambitious animators who keep experimenting and offering new things to the table. And professional animators know how they can incorporate it to their scenes correctly, because the existence of an impact frame doesn't guarantee its success in a scene. It's how organically it could fit in within the sequence. Many scenes don't require impact frames and would actually end up worse if included. So yeah, it's up to the animator to implement it correctly and organically. One of the most popular animators and a generational innovative talent is Yutaka Nakamura. He basically owned impact frames due to his crazy ways he implemented it to his modern scenes. He's arguably the most influential animator of all time, and so many animators follow his footsteps when it comes to impact frames. There are also legends like Yoshimichi Kamida who gave us unique impact frames. His impact frames are usually extremely detailed and aggressive, and his use of brush strokes gives his scenes special touch that makes it hard to not have him as one of your favorite animators. Various other animators have used impact frames in snappy ways like the legendary Yoshinori Kaneda, as well as triggers Yo Yoshinari and Hiroyuki Imaishi. Now let's talk about how modern One Piece pushed impact frames to a new level. Impact frames existed as far as the Skypiea arc in One Piece, but it was during the Wano arc that One Piece transformed and leveled up. Animators had better conditions and more freedom, allowing them to experiment and innovate. Animators like Katsumi Ishizuka started drawing influence for his impact frames from legends like Nakamura and Kameda. With Wano's colorful direction, these impact frames became more vibrant and colorful. A great example is the Zoro vs. Kamazu scene, where Ishizuka used intense brushstrokes and aggressive impact frames. That scene shook the community because it felt like a new step for One Piece, reaching new heights in its action. Then there's Vincent Chansard, who delivered terrific work in episode 1017 for Kaido's character acting. He gave us some of the most intense warping impact frames I've ever seen for a villain. He developed his use of impact frames to a degree where they told a story in the middle of battles, inventing a way of utilizing impact frames never seen before. He even included Easter eggs, gags, and teasers for upcoming content in hidden frames. Other notable animators include Akihiro Ota, who has always been skilled with impact frames and has made them even more stylish as he evolved. Sota Shigetsugu has shown us some of the most incredible and detailed impact frames and later took inspiration from Vincent's colored impact frames. Kohei Hirota has also given us some of the most stunning impact frames despite his occasional appearances. He looks up to Nakamura and has done great work for shows like My Hero Academia. When I used to talk about these scenes on Twitter, they gained a lot of attention and went viral. Most people replied that it was their first time learning the name of this animation technique. I even made an edit that is now nearing 1 million views. The popularity of impact frames in the last couple of years has reached a much wider and more mainstream audience. This technique has also inspired many artists to implement their own creative ideas and take inspiration from popular animators before them. However, as cool as impact frames are, relying too heavily on them would get dull. Professional animators understand this and know when to use impact frames sparingly. Mastery comes from knowing when less can be more. In short, while impact frames have existed for a long time, One Piece animators have pushed the boundaries of what can be achieved with them. They've introduced their meaning to a wider audience, many who previously knew little about animation. As long as these animators continue to be given freedom and the environment to innovate, there's no limit to what they can achieve. While animators everywhere are great, I genuinely haven't seen impact frames pushed to such a degree as it was in One Piece. It's clear that this technique has left an impact and inspired more people to learn about animation. And if you disagree, feel free to type that in the comments so I can delete it. Thanks a lot for watching, like and subscribe, see you next time.